Hey guys, so I got kind of a new setup here. Not new for you. Like everything you see will be the same, but new for me. I don't know what's going on with the dresser back there, what's showing. Everything's backwards to me. I never was good with like mirror images at all. Sam, get down. Sorry. Okay, so let me make sure I have something pulled up here. I do. I'm going to share the screen. And then after I do a brief little intro, I will hide my ugly mug again. Because I am not what this is about, and neither is my the background of my bedroom. Thank you, good boy. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, for anyone that's interested, we are gonna explore the Grand Canyon. I've never been. Some of you never have been, maybe. Hopefully, this is not my own echo chamber, and it's not just a dead internet. I hope it's not. If it is, then we got more deception going on than I know. So quick warning, and that's the only reason I'm really showing my face at the beginning of this video. Quick warning. Um, I know a lot of us want answers, and we know that there are lies out there, and a lot of us aren't world traveled or even well traveled in America. Some of us just have worked our whole lives, and that's how it's been. That's by design, I believe. But most of us want the truth, and we're seeking an end to this deception. And regardless of how it began or why it was started, I think it's fair to say that nothing good ever comes from a lie, because if you don't know who you are, where you come from, it's very hard to understand where you're going or where you should be going. So, some of these answers we might not want. When I look into some of the aspects of a few of these theories that I have, even though I go in a direction because it resonates as true, they give me an icky feeling, like looking into the abyss, or again, like maybe I don't want all these answers. So I just wanted to start this video with a disclaimer saying I might say things that are new to you. I might say things that hit in a strange new way with you. God is doing a new thing with a lot of us. It's not just me, no matter how bad people want to troll me for whatever reason. Um, when people bank off these theories, they don't troll them like that. They idolize them. But in looking at some of these things and the falseness of it, if you know what a falsetto, it's like a fake front on a building, almost like you would see in a Wild West city. And that's kind of what got the balls rolling on this initial theory with me was places like Six Flags, amusement parks, Cedar Point, Kennywood, Disney World, Disneyland has a lot to do with why I started looking into our geography and what this place really is, because some of it seems so utterly false now. And I don't know if it's because some of us have stopped ingesting certain things that make things look a certain way. It reminds me of that video game my son had, We Happy Few, where they don't realize how much of a dystopian land they're living in because they're all highly intoxicated on different things. And again, I'm going to be very careful about what I say, but let's just keep in mind that some of these answers we might not like, and I mean that as in true answers, things that are truth. When we discover certain truths, we may not want them. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer at the beginning here and say, I'm going to dive into this with both feet. And I'm going to say things that maybe don't make sense. I will mess up and say things maybe that I didn't mean and have to backtrack because this is all new for me too. And I'm just here to see kind of where it goes. I know that I've been greatly deceived and I don't want that to happen anymore to me. So without further ado, that is going to be a topic that is kind of a side topic too, is amusement parks and animatronics and how they are set up. You know, Disney World, you think of like a city, right? And the last time I was in Pittsburgh, every city used to have like a Chinatown when we were little here in America. But now they have like Thai town and Filipino town, so you can get all the different cuisines. Even the grocery store was broke down into ethnic aisles like that. Point being, it's very easy to make something look authentic or genuine, especially to people that don't know any better. And we've all been highly indoctrinated since we were very young. Um, and so, through that indoctrination, through substances and free radicals, that's what they're called, the toxins in the air, they're called free radicals. I know this because I was once a cosmetics manager and I had to take a book home about that big and learn about all these different things. Okay. So, when I do speak on things, I come from a place of basic knowledge. I've been in healthcare, I've been in banking, and I worked in cell phone technology as well. Putting all these things together, talking to people from allegedly all over the states, um, I have found that we are greatly deceived. And that's just in basics. That's just in being on Facebook and having friends that are allegedly in San Fran saying, "Hey, I heard you had a quake today," and them not knowing what I'm talking about. I think that is the whole point in the 15-minute cities is to make us believe and think we have to stay in this one zone because when you get out of your own geographical area, other areas have their own local news. And while they are following scripts, there are certain events that are fabricated to keep you in one area. I think this is why you see vacation seasons as they are. I think this is why, because I also worked for a travel agent part time. I think this is why you see people travel, at certain times, different times. It's all a great deception about population, how many people are here, and what this place really looks like and is made of. So, having said all that, let's dive into the origin stories quickly about the. And I'm gonna hide myself again because I just don't need to really show myself for this. And I don't want it to detract because I do have Google Maps pulled up and we're going to look at that as well. So let me just make sure everything looks good. All right. So the origin stories of the Grand Canyon. Um, there are several different Native American tribes that have lived in and or around the Grand Canyon, and their origins stories, their allegedly creation stories, they originated in and around this area, and that's why they live there. So, the AI overview tells us that the Grand Canyon holds profound spiritual and cultural significance for various Native American tribes, with their origin stories often linking the canyon to their ancestral history and the creation of the world. Many tribes believe the canyon is a sacred place, a site of emergence, or a connection to the supernatural. Now, if you look at the aerial view, now I'm going to do a lot of toggling back and forth because, again, I do have Google Maps pulled up and I'm going to see if I can't do one more thing here. Hold, please, while I pull something else up. I'm pulling up an aerial view because I want you to see the tributaries in there and how it looks like either lightning struck it or water eroded it. Or a great cataclysm, a great event tore apart the land. Okay, so I'm going to show you an aerial view. What I mean about that when I say tributaries of a river, this is what I mean. Over here to the right, you see this main chasm. This is what my dream was like, what started my testimony. But you see how you have these different little fractures on the sides? That looks like something either was like Thor's hammer was rent in the ground and it just created this giant chasm all at once, just opening and cracking the earth, some type of event. And I do have a theory for that. Just hang on. Or water. That this was filled with water at one time, water that sprung up from the bottom. I believe the Great Flood was caused by springs, the firmament, and the waters above and below. Okay, so I believe there were these little like springs opened up in the earth, in the firmament below, and then above windows, or think of a sprinkler, almost like the dots here for your Google Apps, a bunch of those holes opening up in the firmament. Hopefully, anyone that is here is following me thus far. I do appreciate thumbs up because while they don't help the channel, they help me. Now, we're going to go back here to origin stories and just hear a little bit about how it was created. Because again, I do have a theory. I just gave you one. And now the other theory that I have is if this is the original Israel, it is also Egypt. Like America's big enough for that to be both because they walked from one place to the other. So I would have to fit the Middle East into here or somehow. And I don't know how to do this, but if you look at the world map and how it's broke down, the Middle East and Europe and everything across the pond from America looks almost the same, but upside down and inverted, if that makes sense. The shapes, the puzzle pieces are almost exactly the same. Like somebody just took I don't know if you had one of them flat puzzles from the 80s, but like somebody just took a cube and then laid it out, like started laying it out. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, um, so my theory is that either it was created through the flood or when Christ was crucified, it is when the earth opened up. Now you're going to say, you're just focusing on America because you're in America. Well, that's not true. One of the reasons I started doing this is because of how fake everything looks on the screens. It looks like people, when they say this is a Native American and this is a Jewish person and this is a Irish person, not so much with Irish people, but you get where I'm going with this. To me, it looks like they try too hard to prove that we're all really different. I don't know how to make that make sense. Like they look like costumes. They don't look like real Jewish people. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm talking about what they show you on television. Okay. And on the screens as being these groups of people. And the whole point is to make a mockery of everybody, right? That's the point of all of this. It's just the mockery. And they hate being exposed more than anything. And this is why I do what I do. This is to me exposing evil because evil are deceptions. Now I'm going to pull one more picture up before we read that origin stories for a couple of tribes. I'm going to pull up a picture from Indiana Jones because I mentioned it yesterday and I want to show you this before we look at the map of the Grand Canyon itself. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. What scene is that? Faith. Leap of faith scene. That's what it's called. See, please tell me my long-term memory is shot because it's not. Here we go. Okay. So yesterday I mentioned this scene. When I look at pictures of the Grand Canyon and some YouTubers allegedly who go to the pyramids, why do they all look different? Everybody says they're in the pyramids, but everybody has a different picture of what they look like inside. One kid looked like he was in a basement full of pipes. I don't know who these people think they're fooling, but it's just, I wish it would all stop. Okay, so you see this? He had to do what was called a leap of faith. He didn't know this bridge was there. What is my point? My point is that it's a set. Like I could tell even as I was watching it, at first it was some type of optical illusion, but it's also, this isn't real craggy rock. It's like painted on there. And you can tell as he goes through the scene, right? He walks through without like having to watch his step. I mean, he acts all right, but you get where I'm going with this. When I look at pictures of what they show us is the Grand Canyon, that is what it reminds me of, is this stuff right here. And I don't know if I can bring that up any bigger than it already is. You guys see what I'm talking about, don't you? Let's see. Can I just went to open. There we go. Let's see if this makes it any bigger. There we go. This. When I look at, all right, so we're going to see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work. It says live. Let's see if I actually am. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to pretend I didn't lose a beat here and give me a moment to pull up a screen. Hopefully this will work. I have all my disclaimers up, so there's really nothing they can say about all of this as far as copyright and all that stuff. So give me a second. I'm just pulling up Google Maps and the Grand Canyon origin stories. Now a plane's going above. if we can even trust those, because I don't think those are what people think they are either, but that's just me. Grand Canyon. Okay. National Park. Let's go here. All right. Now I'm going to share screen, make sure that it works. La-di-da-di-da. Hang on. There we go. And now why they shut me down, I cannot say. I don't know what happened, but it seems like right now we're okay. I'm going to pull it up. For continuity purposes, I went right to the old stream. Did they shut me down again? Am I shut down again? It says I'm still running there, but I'm not seeing anything on my channel when I pull this up. I don't know. I'm going to keep going. All right, so this is the Grand Canyon, and when I talked about a facade, I meant all of this in the background. You see how there's always this ginormous background, and all we ever get are just like quarry rocks, like to view it as a whole, I guess. For someone who's never been there, I'd like to see more of it than the same places all of the time, you know. I mean, I'm sure you would as well. Okay, so I got the origin stories pulled up. Now, let's see. All right, actually, we did a brief overview of that. So I'm going to go to where I went first, because again, I did not do a brief study into this myself. I just went to a couple of spots. Now, here we go. These are landmarks in the Grand Canyon. We're going to start there, okay? That's where I started. Now you have the desert view and a watchtower. Watchtower, Jehovah's Witnesses. Towers, also cell towers, also computer towers, also according to Welsh legend, where the devil is said to trap souls, are in towers. We've got Mather Point. That's the area outside of the watchtower. It's a pretty old watchtower. It looks like a lighthouse to me. Yeah, it really does. And then we have Grand Viewpoint, Hermit's Rest. Now let's take a look at this just to see what kind of picture they give us here. Does it look phony? Does it look real? What do we think? Okay, so again, you have this strict line of demarcation there, which yes, could be for soil erosion, but why is it so level? Why is it so flat? I just feel like we're being deceived with pictures again. But let's get out of here. And now these are a few other just landmarks and pictures that you see, but we're going to get out of there too. Look at a few more places. We've got Hopi Point, historic Navajo Bridge, which again looks really new and kind of fake. Navajo Point, which there's the watchtower in the background. Mojave Point. The Mojave Desert is quite the treasure trove of supernatural and paranormal tales, especially regarding a very specific phone booth. So that is something I would like to look at in the future as well. We've got Bright Angel Point, which I find very interesting. That name, Bright Angel. Lucifer is described as being an angel of light or a shining one. You've got Yaqui Point, kind of looks like the Wailing Wall almost. Grand Canyon Village, Powell Point. It was discovered by a man, I think his name was John Wesley, which I find interesting too, because he's also a character in biblical studies. Lookout Studio. That's an interesting name. Trailview Overlook, Guano Point, and Point Sublime. What else do we got? Maricopa, Pima, Lipan, and the Abyss, guys. The Abyss. Which is also interesting to note the name there, the Abyss. Are we in the short season of Satan? And all of these things already happened? Is that really the Abyss? What do they call it there? What is their little thing for it? Now, we are going to look at that maybe, but first, let's just get an idea of some of the names of some of these places. and get an idea. So this is the watchtower. This is the area we were looking at here. We've got Yaqui Point, Skeleton Point. Let's see if we can make that a little bigger. We've got Hopi Point over here. Now, what I was doing was looking into, hold please, because I'm going to do something else. We're going to try something else as well. I want you guys to see some of the etymology of some of these words. Okay. Tusayan. Let's look at that just to gather something new. I already looked at, let me see if I can find it. Kaibab, Kaibabe, Kaibab, Kebab. Toro Weep. And that's what we're looking, are some of the original names, some of the original language, because, again, some of them I found are Hindu. Let's see, Tusayan, etymology. Tusayan is generally understood to refer to an area characterized by buttes or mesas where people gather. It's derived from the Hopi word meaning country of isolated butts. Spanish adoption. The word was adopted by Spanish explorers when they settled in the Hopi area. But let's keep going because let's go down a little bit. 1919. Now remember, Pueblo was a nickname. Prehistoric ruin, ancient culture drawn as Sikyatki or Yellow House. Okay. That one is being credited to the Hopi language itself. And again, what we're looking for here are some of these words to see where they come from. Hualapai. We're going to look at that. Hual. Yes. All right, Hualapai. Now, why are we doing this? Because language is important and we want to know the root words and the root languages for some of the terminologies and the names of these places. And we want to know exactly what they mean because we see a lot of things in the United States and America named after God. We are told we are a godless nation, but we have Garden of the Gods. We have Mount Zion, but we also have things like Devil's Chasm and the Devil's Bucket and the Devil's Ice Bucket. So where are we really? They keep telling us that this is not a spiritual war. The Hualapai people are named Hualapai. If that's bad, I apologize, because their name means people of the tall pines. The name is derived, that gives me the creeps, I don't know why. The name is derived from their traditional territory, which is characterized by tall ponderosa pines. The word hual, and again, that reminds me of that breathy notion you have to use with Hebrew and Aramaic. Hual, like these older languages tend to be. Hualapai means ponderosa pine. Pi means people, therefore, Hualapai literally translates to people of the tall pines. The term is derived from, not even going to try that X. I don't know why that's in there. And let's just make sure. Hualapai, it really does remind me of Hebrew. Hualapai. Interesting. Okay, so let's go to another one. The one I looked at yesterday, I'm sure I could find it again, but I don't want to tread over old territory if I don't have to. Okay. I'm on the map. aspect here, and I would like to make it a little more clear to look at. So let me change the view. Okay. I really, really, really want to see. There is Kings Canyon, Sequoia and Kings Canyon. See, a lot of these names, man. Gold Point, Bonnie Clara, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's bring you guys over to the map with me just so you can see how I'm doing this. Okay, so I have a couple things marked. We have Grand Canyon West right here. Lovely, lovely picturesque orange clay, dirt clay. Grand Canyon National Park, which again reminds me of a stone quarry. And the Grand Canyon, huge canyon carved by the flood, allegedly. Okay, so we're going to zoom in, see what we can see, because we want to know where these places got their names. And this too, Parashant. It gives me the feeling of a really old language. It is as it is, but I mean older still. We're told America's new. Really, it's not. We refounded it. Okay, so there's the Hualapai Reservation. And this is where kind of it starts, sort of, basically. All right, so we're going to keep zooming in. Which side? I guess we could start at the west. Now, this is the terrain view, the topography and elevated view. If I change it, it gets kind of messy looking to share. But I will, because we want to see the names of these places. Okay, ready? And there, I find that interesting, the skywalk. But we're also made. Oh, I'm truly sorry if you tuned in for this. I'm not sure what is going on today with our platform, with our sponsor. Well, they're not our sponsor, but with the platform here itself. I don't know what's up. But here we are again, and I was looking into the etymology of Hava Supai, okay? So that's where I'm at. So we're going to break the word down. Let's see, Hava. Let's see where that, there you go. All right, so are you guys with me? Is somebody here? And if you are here, please comment, because I'm at a loss as to what is going on in my own video, on my own channel. There's some reason that this video is touching people's nerves. I don't know why that would be. All right, so things seem to be working, and I'm going to go through what I was going to go through, and here is a golden nugget that we just found, and I know people make fun of me because I say that. Oh, what a gem. What a gem. Well, this really is a little golden nugget, so take a look at this. Now, the Havasupai, right? It was the people of the blue-green water. They say that they are the caretakers of the Grand Canyon. Just to refresh your memory and mine of where I was just at when I was trying to get the video to work the first billion times. So what I did is I broke that word up. I took Havasupai and I broke it up in two, because it said Hava meant this and Supai meant this. So again, this is how they fool us with words, guys. They had this as one word. Now, when I do etymology for Havasupai, it's different. Watch. That's the tribe, right? The tribe of the blue-green water. It means pi meaning people, Havasu meaning blue-green water, okay? And if you look down here, it doesn't really give us much of where it comes from or the etymology, okay? But again, to show you how I did this, because I always show my work and because the video keeps shutting down, and it's probably for reasons like this. Because this is pure simple logic, but nobody else has done it. Hava. etymology for the word hava, because that is the first part of that word, right? And etymology is defragging, breaking down words. Check this out. I told you the names of stuff leads us to the truth too. The name Hava, a Hebrew name meaning life, is derived from the name Eve, meaning life-giving. Is that the Garden of Eden, the Havasupai Canyon? Because that's what we were just looking at. Let me see if I can pull it up while I'm with you guys here, because I don't want to. Where did you go, Havasupai? Hold, please, while I do this. Havasupai. Trailhead, Havasu Falls. Geez, you just like. There's a reservation. Is the reservation near the falls and all of it? Let's check out how far it is away from. Oh, wow, it's small. Boy, this kind of makes me mad. Okay, then you have Supai. Wow, this really gets deep. All right, so I'm going to go back to the etymology with you guys. Hava meaning Eve, okay? The Havasupai is a Native American Indian group, right? We just established that, of the blue-green water. So there we go. Havasupai Grand Canyon. Where are you? Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. See, this is difficult because there's so many different things with the same names. Do we want the campground or the Indian reservation? Okay, so about Havasupai Falls, that's in Main Street, Trailhead, Havasupai Falls, Arizona. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Could this be Eden? I don't know. I always think of Littlefoot. If you had kids and you watched The Land Before Time and how they entered that the Great Valley. Okay, so there's some pictures of the falls. This is the Havasu Falls. And the Havasu, now again, you have two words, or still two words, but if we look at Hava, it means life-giving. Hebrew origin, Hava is a Hebrew name, specifically a variant of the name Eve. Hava means life or life-giving. Cultural significance. In Jewish culture, the name Hava is often given to girls as a reminder of the miracle of birth and the gift of life. Okay? So Hava means life-giving. Norwegian, Norse. All right, so how about Havasu? Because that means blue-green people. I'm going to guess that Havasu has something to do with water. If Hava is breath, then Havasu should mean water, I think, right? Now it says it derives from the Havasupai Hualapai language. But again, are they just fooling us with words? Havasu means blue-green water. But we just saw that it had Hebraic roots, right? So let me do a little more here, and then I'm going to go back up and see if there is a Hebrew version of this. Or let's do this. Su means well or good, and it can be Sanskrit. Well, in Turkish, it means water. So yes, that does follow. Okay, so Havasupai. That's fascinating to me. Do we think that could be the Garden of Eden? I don't know, but I have been looking at 4 long rivers in the United States, or 4 rivers worldwide that could be the rivers that come from the Garden of Eden. Havasu. So let's go back to here and see if Havasu has a Hebrewic, anything to do with Hebrew. Blue-green water, Havasu is the name. Okay, so it says, therefore, any perceived similarities between Havasu and Hebrew words are coincidental. I don't buy it, rather than etymological. I don't buy it. Why? Because I found more. It wasn't just Havasupai. There was another one. Hold, please, because I have it saved. And we'll look at that one next. Somebody really doesn't want this video made, though, because I keep having so many troubles with such a simple, like, research with me. Okay, so this next one that we're going to look at, give me a second. And this is also in or around the Grand Canyon. All right. The word Aita has several etymological origins depending upon Aita, because that reminded me of Hebrew as well. Now, it does remind me of Aita, meaning Utah, and this is what I want. See, it tells you what you want, and that's not what I want. Road or path in Sanskrit, it can mean beside this, from this place, or beyond. Vaishnavism. Okay, but watch this. Aita. Now, again, I'm going to show you this place in the map once we get to this spot. I'm looking this up so you guys don't have to do all this legwork with me right now. You can keep looking at the beautiful falls. There we go. All right, let's bring you over this tab. Now you're giving me a problem because I did it on my phone and I have it pulled up. Aita etymology. Ah, that's what I did wrong. They're so specific. I''TAH. I have a screenshot saved. I could post it to the page, but again, there's a reason I do things this way. Etymology. Okay. Aita originates from the Hopi language. That's funny because when I looked it up on my phone, it says it has several. It says Hopi, Yoruba, and Hebrew. So let's keep going. Let's dive a little deeper. If I got to use you, then I will. Wow, you guys are really devious, aren't you? I'm going to have to prove it to everybody that I actually have it in my phone. All right, hold. Aita has several etymological ITAH. Yes, it's the same thing. Aita Kukveni. Okay, hold. Aita etymology. Hebrew. I'm just gonna ask it outright because I got the answer on another dive and I don't know why it's giving me this problem. Again, though, they're quite hip to people being. Hebrew uses interjections to express emotions. Example, searching for etymological roots, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, man. Te. No, it's not that ta. Boy, this is frustrating. Why would you tell me it has Hebrew roots? All right, so let's do this. We're going to look them up. Aita Kukveni. All right, so this is one of the other areas, and this is Baj Nuavo, Navajo, I believe. Aita Kukveni National Monument protects ancestral lands around the Grand Canyon and waters that flow into the Colorado River. Okay. So Aita Kneve. It makes me really angry. I can't use a different search engine. I don't understand that. Okay, so to tell you guys what I got on the another search, which we did this yesterday together. The The last name Ita might be linked to Hebrew, where it can mean to be strong or to be firm. It could also relate to Ittai or Itai, which can mean with me. Sanskrit Itah also means here, from this place, beyond this. To be strong or to be firm in Hebrew, or with me. And so in Sanskrit, it means beside this, with, yeah, I could see that. Yoruba, Ita, meaning road or path. So they're all very similar. But it says it might be linked to Hebrew. But again, this was... Go further than the Native American roots. Okay, so Ita Kukveni means our ancestral footprints or path, as we read. Now, the Hopi are getting credit for that. And again, the Hopi's end time is very similar to Revelation. Dude, I really think that they are one of the lost tribes. Hopi. Who gave them that name? Okay. Now we're going to do something else. We're going to look at the second half of that word, Kukveni. Because again, why do we have all these different... Okay, so they're saying that means footprints. We figured that much out, but we want to make sure. Kukveni. Why are they trying to relate this to the you-know-what? Veni. Kukveni. Is K in... Do they have a Hebrew word? I don't know if they do. All right, so did we see Kukveni? Did we look at it? Let me show you guys where that's at. Ancestral footprints. There we go. Wow, this is desolate. So this is ancestral footprints of the Grand Canyon. Oh, geez, guys, look at that. It's at 222 and 22. And I've been saying the Antichrist loves that number. The Antichrist spirit, anyways. Or is it trying to remind us something? Or is it trying to call us home? There's nothing out here. What is this about? Is that the only thing? Hold, please. I just want to make sure that we're looking at the right place. Now, this is the reservation. But again, there are places, I think. That's the only thing it's showing. Wow. There's really nothing there. You've got a highway. Skinner Trail. That's kind of creepy. No, we didn't find much on that, did we? All right. Let's go back to some landmarks in the Grand Canyon. All right, so let's look at Yaqui. That's another one with a strange name. Let's find out what origins that has. Now, this is this is saying that it's Japanese. I told you that some of the names also sounded... The word yaki in Japanese means grilled, fried, or broiled. It is a common suffix used in Japanese cuisine to indicate a dish cooked by direct heat. Why is everything in the American Grand Canyon named after a different nation? All of these different names. I don't understand. This is maddening. It really is. Like, it's irritating me. Okay, so let me pull this up on the map so you guys can see where this is at. Grand Canyon. This is Yaqui Point Village. This is in the Grand Canyon. I'm going to show you. This is Yaqui Point. Okay, you see it here. Yaqui Point. Why does it have a Japanese name? I don't understand. Is any of the rest of the world real? Is it all made up gobbledygook? What is happening? Yaqui Point. Why is it named after? And I'm not trying to be funny, but like it's been like this since the beginning, right? This is its ancestral name. So why is it not all after like the Hopi Indians and the... I don't get it. Guys, I don't get it at all. So Yaqui, yak, a yak is an animal. So let's take it all the way down to yak. Oh, okay. Yaqui in Hebrew namer. That's the website. Yaqui, derived from the Hebrew word yakar, meaning precious or valuable. Yaqui reflects the idea of something or someone being cherished and treasured. Huh. So again, I didn't look too far. I didn't reject it. It has also a Hebrewic root, but also, again, Hebrew is one of the oldest languages. So we should expect to see Sanskrit and things like that, I would think. We all come from the same place, the same people originally. So, I mean, some of this does make, it makes sense. Okay, so Yaqui can also come from the Hebrew word yakar. All right. So what else do we got? What are some more Grand Canyon landmarks here? Let's see. Show it to me. Yaqui Point. Let's pull out and see where we're at. Yavapai. Did we already look at that? Tovar Hotel. No, Tovar. That is Hebrew. Hold, please. See what I did? All I did was zoom out. Paul Revere Transportation. All right, so Yaqui Point. That's where we just were. Oh, guys, look at this. Zoroaster Camp. Zoroastrian is a religion. Is this normal? Like, why does this not surprise anyone else? We're told that there is no God, and everything in this one area is named after God. And I'm not trying to be funny or facetious. Like, I'm genuinely frustrated with everything being a lie. Z says they truly are extremely devious. That is why it takes many combining what they know to get around their games. True that. True that. True that. Oh, I think all it takes is one if you're determined enough. But most people don't put in that type of effort or work. Okay, so right here, do you see it? El Tavar Hotel. I'm pretty sure Tavar is Hebrew, but I'll look it up just to make sure. And I'm not trying to be funny. And I'm not trying to be like over animated. I know I'm a woman. I'm supposed to maintain my composure. But you're allowed to be angry without breaking things. You're allowed to be frustrated without harming anyone, which I am, and I am. The surname Tovar originates from the name of a Castilian noble house that received the lordship of the village of Tovar in the Middle Ages. It is a toponymic surname. Okay, I'm not going to play your games. Dude, I want to know where it comes from. Tovar, borrowed from Slovak. Old noun. See, I need the etymology tool on here. Can I just do that? Because the tav, tova, tovar, tova. Let's try this. There we go. Hebrew and Norse. And Norse, again, is the Nephilim tribe. The name Tova has a multifaceted etymology stemming from both Hebrew and Old Norse origins. In Hebrew, it signifies good or pleasant and is considered a blessing in Jewish culture. In Old Norse, it's thought to be a hypochoristic form, a nickname of Porphyrior, which means beautiful Thor, with Thor referring to the Norse god of thunder, according to the bump, whoever the bump is. Okay. We have both sides of the coin there. What is the origin of the name Tova? What does the word Tova mean in Hebrew? This name is often given to girls, Tova. It is associated with the concept of divine goodness. In modern times, the name Tova is used as a girl name. So again, we have something relating to the female, the feminine, right? Because we just found the other one that pointed back to Eve. So what are we looking at? Hold, please, because I got lost there. Did I not change the... I'm sorry, guys. Here. Share this tab. The name Tova has a multifaceted etymology. Good or pleasant, and is considered a blessing in Jewish culture. Old Norse, it's thought to be a hypocristic form of Porphyrior, which means beautiful Thor, referring to the god of thunder. Okay? So, where did I find it? The El Hovar Hotel. So if we look at El, right? Angel, Tovar, Hotel. I wonder if we broke down hotel with, like, it's a hostel, but what is it actually? So El, angelic, Tovar, beautiful woman, female angel. The El Tovar Hotel. I don't know. Again, this is guesswork right now, but I'm bringing you along for it because it's super fascinating to me, and we need to know where we are before we can do much of anything else. Okay, do you see how I'm going through this? Everything that has a name, I'm looking it up and I'm taking it back to the etymology. So right here, we got the Java pie. Java would probably be the root word, right? So let's do that first, because we know pi means people, right? So let's do Java. And I'll share this tab now. It's a lot of toggling, guys. Thanks for hanging out here with me while I study. Study to show thyself approved, right? The word Yava in Sanskrit, and I think God, like, legit, if he wanted me to work, he'd have kept things working. I think this is my work. The word Yava in Sanskrit means barley. It's a Sanskrit word referring to the grain Hordeum vulgare. The term Yava also appears in Rig Veda and other Indian scriptures, highlighting its importance as a principal grain. And I knew the Hava bean, right? That's what I was thinking of Hava, or the Java bean. So blah blah blah. Etymological roots. I need the etymology tool. Can I just have that? Yava, Azerbaijani terms borrowed from Persia. It's saying Yava is a Persian term. Wild how it's all connected. Online etymology dictionary. Sanskrit, it meant coffee generally. Java, barley. Oh, wow. A central theme of this song is how traditional Japanese culture. Yaba in Tagalog means devil. I got a question about the song name Yava. So Yava is a song name too. According to two people in Ohio, the name Yava is of Greek origin and means king or god. Huh. Let's see. Did Hebrew have a Y or was it an H? Do you have any? Let's see. Yava in Hebrew when referring to barley. Yeah, Proto-Semitic for grain. It's a Sanskrit word, which we know they get a lot of their, everybody does. Yava and the Sanskrit Yava are considered cognates, meaning they share a common ancestor word due to their linguistic relationship. They're spelled the same. Both words mean barley. Okay, but they're spelled the same in American English. But writing in the language is a whole nother thing than translating it. You have to be able to write it too. And so obviously they are two different caricatures. Okay, so we know that Java can also point back to, so Java pie, because, and again, not to be funny, P-A-I. I don't want to insert Hebrew, I just want to see usually if it's there. Hi, can, in Portuguese, it means father. It's derived from Old Galician Pater Noster, which means father. Yes, I know that. Additionally, pi can be a surname with Indian origins. It can also be related to the Hebrew verb pai, meaning to call or cry out. So, Java pi. Java pi. Grain that cries out, wheat, barley. That's interesting. Okay, so we're going to go back to the map. So Yavapai was the word that we were breaking out down right there. Now, Shoshone, again, that sounds, obviously, they have their own language. Like, I realize that the Native Americans have their own languages. That's not my concern. My concern is what they teach us as Hebrew and Aramaic and as the biblical tribes. It matches our history so much, the Bible, like human history, right? It shows our vagabond, our travels, this type of thing, but a lot of it seems to fit in, if we just change a few things and then it all, it all really fits and clicks into place. And I'm not trying to insert my own belief. It's just, why does this place in America have all of these different names if it was discovered at the same time? Like, what actually happens here and when was it discovered that we have so many different languages contributing to the names of all these little places in America? So Zoroaster, right? Now I'm going to show you that next because that is a Zoroastrian is a Zoroaster is a faith system. So now I put up the etymology online tool because Zoroaster, Zoroaster. Now again, English is going to change the way we spell things a little bit. Okay, so that's the Zoroaster camp. That's right there. This is what it looks like in the actual photos. It's not a whole lot to look at. It looks like maybe they've made some movies there. Again, we're not shown a lot. Like, I don't know. And these are from visitors, yeah. Okay, so let's get out of here. All right. So that's Zoroaster camp. All right. Oops. What are you doing, dude? Look it up. TR. Yes. There we go. I don't know what it was. The Zoroastrian. Of or pertaining to Zoroaster, founder of ancient Persian religion, from Latin Zoroaster, Zarathustra, Persian religious teacher. The name appears to be literally, whose camels are old. That's funny. Old cognate with green, geron, genitive, gerontos, old, gerontology. Oh, like genetics, gerontology. So, plus Ustra is camel as a noun, a follower of Zoroaster. You guys are seeing that. Please stop it. Please just let me use you without Being a pain in the dupa. Okay, so that's related entries and more. Let's go down a little. System of religious doctrines taught by Zoroastrian. Okay, so let's go back up. So again, it's a Persian word, and it is related to religion. Let's look to the root. Know where it's found. Word parts. How about Zoro? Interesting. So there's no root word there. You're not gonna. How about Zoro? Let's see if that's a word. Aim at a target. Set your sights on. 1913, a point of scale related to zeroed. Right. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Okay. So again, another place in and or near the Grand Canyon that is named after a different faith system. Okay, we've got Angel's Window here. We've got, this is wild. Moraine Point, Tusayan Ruin. Interesting. We might have to look that up. Let's go a little closer because something left. Freya Castle. So Freya, check this out. Freya, this is Freya Castle. Now I'm putting pins in everything I'm pulling up. So Freya Castle, see it? The mountain peak? They're calling this Freya's Castle. Freya is Gaelic, I believe. I think. Or Celtic. Hold on. Hold, please. Let's get our handy dandy etymology tool out. Yes, she is a goddess. This whole place, guys, is named after goddesses. The whole place. The whole place. Everything we've put up so far, the root word you can trace back to a female goddess, except for like Zoroastrian. But again, it's all related to like the divine. You've got angel names here. You've got what was the other one? Eve. You've got the feminine there. So Freya is the goddess of sexual love and beauty in what mythology? Norse. Who were the Norse? A league or a tribe of mighty men of renown of old, aka Nephilim, are who Norse are. That's why you see Loki everywhere, because they want you worshiping them, and soon they're going to be not hidden for us. But that's going to also be their downfall, will be their arrogance. From Old Norse, Freya, which is related to Old English, Freya as in Lord, Old Saxon, Frua, Middle Dutch, Vlarwe, woman, wife. Interesting. Interesting. So is there a root there? Is it Frey or Aya? Is there word parts? No results. Huh. And it's saying her. Okay, so it's, yeah. It's going through everything right there. That's enough to hear, though. All right, moving on. So we saw. Oh, geez, guys, are they serious? How many people know this? And when were these things named? When were these things named? I need to know. This is Vishnu temple. Is he not the blue god with all the arms in Hindu? Like, not to be disrespectful, is that who he is? This is wild. Where are we at? What is going on? So, who's all visited the Grand Canyon? Have you all been there? Are these new names? Can I just go plot down a little flag and say, hey, this one is Gévaudan for my French relations? Can I go do that? Because this is wild to me. And I can name it after me and call myself a female. I could call myself a goddess, right? I wouldn't actually. But seriously. So Vishnu, I guess we gotta be on point and look them all up, right? So Vishnu, let's see where you come from. Vish and Nu probably, but let's see where you. Hindu deity from Sanskrit. Vishnu probably from root Vish, meaning all pervader or worker. So here's my next question. Here's my next question, and this is what I meant at the beginning of this video. I hope it's all strung together. When I said, don't go looking unless you actually want to know. let's point back to the Anunnaki real quick. What did they say we were? That they created us to what? To mine. What does the Grand Canyon kind of look like? A giant chasm rock quarry. And so does Moab and all these other places. And now they're really into that stuff again. And they want us good and hypnotized for it. That's why all of the plague variations were named after different sleeping Jesus, Jen. REM, right? Not rare earth minerals, rapid eye movement for when you're asleep, beta, theta. Those are all different levels of sleep. And that's how this all started, or at least this cycle. But here's an answer that we might not want to pose. I'm playing devil's advocate, but if we look at the map here and all these different places that are named after, you've got the Zoroaster temple, you've got Freya Castle. So you have every faction. You've got Angel's Window, Vishnu Temple, Yaki Point. Okay, so you've got everybody kind of represented here, and they're doing what? They're overlooking the canyon. Maybe because what? That's where their slaves are working. I'm not saying they did create us, but the slavery thing we know happened. Is it possible that these fallen angel gods all named a place after them? You've got Freya for the Norse, right? You've got Vishnu for the Hindu. You've got the Zoroasters for the Sanskrit men, right? Yaki for and a lot of this comes from the Sanskrit and Hebrew languages because they were the first languages. So is this where they had us mining as slaves? It's one of those answers you might not want, but you have to consider. And yeah, you have to consider both sides. So Vishnu, did we get a root word for that? Did they give us one? Is it Vishnu? Can we break that down? Right? No. Okay, so let's try to break it down into two. Vish sounds German, doesn't it? Vishnu. It just did that again. Yeah, okay. How about new? And it goes to now. New at the present moment. Now that. Norse. Old Norse, new. Now. Sanskrit. Now. Newly. Ah, Vishnu. New god? New gods. Okay, so again, do we want these answers, guys? I know I do, but if some of you don't, I understand. All right, so what else we got that kind of doesn't... Let's check out Tu Sayan. Did we already do this one? No, we did not, or I'd remember this hole in the ground. Wow, this looks like, geez, Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. I always say that wrong. You know what I'm talking about. What is this place? Archaeological ruins of 800-year-old ancestral Pueblan village, and we already read Pueblan is like a nickname, so they should really quit using it. And the overview, Tusayan ruin. All right, let's look up this word and see what the heck this means. Tu is French, and it is also Latin. I'm pretty sure it's Spanish too, but we'll look up the whole thing. Tusayan. Native or share this tab instead. Tusayan. Okay. Native or inhabitant of Tuscany, Italy. Toscano. Tusky. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Tusayan. So they're saying it's an Italian ruin? And Etruscan. Etruria, Tuscan. Of uncertain origin, but containing an element that might mean water. That's for Etruscan. But for Tusayan. So let's do this. How about two? Paired with two who, imitative of the cry of the owl. No. I want to check into just regular Google too, because Again, you need a variety of resources because you're not always going to get the same answer. And sometimes you want to dive deeper. Okay, Tusayan, a Spanish province. Tusayan. The exact meaning of the word Tusayan has been lost to us over time. Interesting. But what if I break it down? Is any of it Hebrew or Sanskrit? Ancient Pueblan, yes, I know. The community's history dates back almost to the beginning of the Grand Canyon National Park in 1919. What an interesting date. Tusayan. It is located in Coconino or Cochonino County, Arizona, incorporated in 2010. Is called conclusions and heritage. Okay, so let's go back up and try this. That's what I'm looking at. That's an interesting one for sure. Sion. T. Old Gaelic, Latin meaning you, Spanish and French, yes, meaning you. Now archaic, I got it. Tusayan. Just want to see if it has a root in Hebrew. 2 refers to the number 15 in Hebrew. Interesting. So 2, and then let's see Sion. So it could mean the number 15. Just to see. 15, Satan. 5 plus 1 is 6, Satan. Debated by scholars, and its etymology is not definitively established. So Sayan, no direct Hebrew root, which is cool. We know Satan, later Jewish thought. In later Jewish thought, this is funny, especially during the centuries leading up to the New Testament, the concept of Satan as a powerful, malevolent entity emerged, potentially influenced by dualistic religious systems like Zoroastrianism, which is what we were just looking at. That's another name of a camp there. This is wild, guys. Sion or Sa. Multiple geographical locations. Yes, we know. Sion translates to binding in Sanskrit. Interesting. All right. Moving on. What else can we see here? Let's share this tab. All right. What else do we have here? Cottonwood Campground. That's pretty normal. Roosevelt Point Overlook. Here's the North Rim, which there might be some interesting things over here. Let's just take a look. Bright Angel Point, temporarily closed. Weed Force Trailhead. That's an interesting word. Uncle Jim Overlook. Interesting. Pump House Ranger Station. Oza Butte. Where did they come up with the letter Z? Is like a late addition to things, I swear. Grand Canyon Lodge. Cliff Dweller Spring. Funny. North Kaibab. That's the one I want. Did we look up Kaibab yet? Kaibab? Let's check it out. Oh, I don't think we did. I would have remembered this picture. Hold, please. I'll get you a nice picture. Oh, that's pretty. North Kaibab. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, but let's check it out and see if I can find any etymology on it. Kaibab. Now, most people know Kai is Trump's granddaughter. Kai is also somebody who contacted me on Quora a couple years ago when they were still trying to run psyops on me and pick my brain. Kai is also very big in anime. It is a character in anime that a lot of these younger generations are highly interested in. You should pay attention to that. And again, when I say that these certain people fit a profile, I'm not saying everybody, right? Like, not everybody that has cats is wicked. That's not what when I say certain things, When I say they basically have a profile of the glasses, the safety color, the cat on their profile pictures, the anime, the teeth problems, all of these things combined, the glasses to hide the eye, right? The Fight Club, all of these things combined create a physical profile. But I'm not saying every cat is wicked or every person that has teeth problems is wicked. I'm saying if your discernment is low, that's a decent place to start and try to hone things down is physically, because all you have is your eyes. Then you have to start being able to close your eyes and just know somebody's heart by listening to their words. That is how you build discernment. And that's why when I say, when you watch the media or news, turn things off, them down, and watch their body language, and then add in the sound and see if it matches up to what you thought was being described just visually. Hello? Did I somehow go off? I don't know what's going on here. What is happening? Are you guys still here? I got a cat on my profile picture. That's so funny. Are you guys still here? Because when I go to watch it, it's not letting me like watch my own video, and I don't understand that. This is irritating me. Like, I'm irritated with this. I don't understand why it's giving me problems. All right, North Kaibab. There we go. Kaibab, Kiibab, including results for that. Yeah, let's get rid of the Hebrew because I just wanted to see it, and then we will break it down. So, Kaibab originates from the Southern Paiute Native American language. Okay, so how many languages do they have now? What is going on? See, when they say that life originated in the Middle East, perhaps that was true in the beginning, but it seems like after the flood, it originated around our Grand Canyon. Like something happened there. The name Kaibab, this term was given to the area by the Paiute people. Now, this is new. I've never heard of this tribe, like the Paiute, never heard of them, as a descriptive name for the Grand Canyon, referring to its geological formation of layers of rocks. Right. The name has been adopted to refer to various locations, including the plateau, the national forest, and the Indian reservation. Ironically enough, all places that regular folks can't go. Okay. Mountain lying down, from a Native American word meaning mountain lying down. So that's interesting. Mountain lying down. When we look at the rest of the place, it's a cave or it's a canyon. But now the name is indicative of it being a mountain that's lying down. Let me show it to you guys again. Check that out. How pretty. Looks like there's a path in here. A mountain lying down. So a mountain fell over, possibly? Okay, so we're going to look. I'm going to pull up Kai by itself. Dude, I want the just Kai. Okay. Hold, please. Sorry, I'm doing 20 things at once trying to give you guys the best results. So you have the Kaibab Plateau. What is the scientific name? Kaibab Formation. Is Kaibab a strange name for a native English speaker? Seems strange to me, and I've never heard of that branch of Native Americans ever. Kaibab squirrel, nearly extinct tree squirrel, Scurius kaibam. See, now I feel like somebody's just making up words. I know that, like, it just sounds weird. All right, so let's try this. Let's try Kai by itself, which can also be, I think, Hindu, but I could be wrong. Ocean. Hawaiian, in Hawaiian, it directly means sea. So Kai could mean sea. Oh gosh, could it mean abyss? And we saw an area of the canyon is called the abyss. Hawaiian, Kai, sea or ocean. Scandinavian, it can mean warrior. In Japanese, it can mean shell or less commonly, ocean. So it could, shell has to do with an ocean in a lot of ways. Kai in Welsh is a variation of K. Sir Kay from Arthurian legends. Other. Kai also appears in African, Chinese, Korean, Native American, and Turkish cultures, though the meaning may. So, Kai etymology, and then you have what? Bab? That's such a weird word. Kai ocean. Baby? Bab. Funny how you call your child a baby now, but baby is short for Babylon. I've started calling children infants, young children infants, because I just don't want anything in my mouth to be associated with that. So Kai in the etymology tool, the closest it's coming up with is Kaiser, or K as in Catherine, a name. So it's not pulling up much there either. But let's go back over here. Etymology of Bab is complex. Persian again, meaning gate or door. Hold up, because I already had an idea that had to do with that as part of the map. And no, this part I won't tell anybody because some things I have to keep secret. They're probably referring to a mountain upside down by a mountain laying down. They're probably referring to a mountain upside down. Why would it be upside down and laying down? I understand the laying down part, but why would it be both? I'm grabbing a pen, guys. I apologize. I got disorganized when the string kept coming out. And I want to write this down for future. Back means door. Can mean door or gate. And so if Kai can mean sea or ocean, it could mean ocean gate, sea gate, gate to the ocean, gate to the sea. The native languages oftentimes didn't say things directly. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to break everything down into words. This is fascinating, though. The Kai Bab, sea gate, ocean gate. Fascinating. Bab can also be a feminine version for woman. In English Midlands, Bab is a term of endearment, like babe, or above or top, according to Austronesian languages. Okay, now people are just making stuff up, man. Arabic toponyms literally meaning gate. So gate in Arabic is also Bab. Interesting. So I'm going to call that Seagate from now on. Reason I say that, it could be a reference to it laying down into earth. True. It reminds me of that thing that they always say they're digging up. That one picture they show all the time of their phallus symbol, whatever that is, the thing like the Washington Monument, but it's in the ground and they're digging it out. That's one of those pictures they like to throw everywhere too. And I love how we make grave robbing look like it's some brilliant thing. Oh, I'm an archaeologist. Oh, yeah, you're a grave robber then. I just our whole society to me has turned strange. When you take a step back and you look at it all, it's very weird. Okay, so let's try to do this. I'm reading your comments on my phone as I still try and do this, so forgive me if. Now, this is the North Rim, so we're going to have to go down, right? Bright Angel Spring. So that would be like Lucifer, if we were going to get technical. Why can I not click on that? Can you not visit that spot? I don't want Yaki. I want Bright Angel. Take me to Bright Angel. See, when somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm all about it. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to see what you look like here. Tonto Trail. That's interesting. Okay, and then you have the Havasupai, the breath, the female god name. Okay, so let's go back out. All right, so you have Hopi, Pima. This is so much, guys. There's so much here. All right, so where were we? We were working our way around this area, right? Oh, guys, look at this. Brahma Temple. This is, again, one of those areas that looks really fake. Like, when is this picture from? The 1950s? Nobody else has taken a picture of this? Okay, so this is a little better right here. There we go. That's a little, I mean, it's a little better. Some dude, whatever. All right. So Brahma Temple, like we're going there, all out. Okay, Ribbon Falls. That's where one of those other Walhalla. How do I know that name? Walhalla. Walhalla Taco. Isn't that a restaurant? Hold, please. I'm going to show you guys the map. So you can look at a few things real quick if there's something you see. Archaeologist equals grave robber with power backing them. True that. True that. They're like treasure hunters, right? I wanted to be Indiana Jones when I was a kid. I was all about it. I was like, yes, I'm going to be Indiana Jones. I'll be the female version. I was so excited. I was going to be a lot of things. I was also going to be a marine biologist. And now that I know, like, we can communicate with dolphins, I cannot find one soon enough. I knew it. Walhalla is Valhalla. It's Norse. They just changed the W to the V, or V to the W. Okay. Okay, so this is including results for W, because W and V and U sometimes are interchangeable in the true etymological roots of most languages. I hope that made sense when it came out of my mouth. It made sense in my mind. The etymology of Valhalla comes from Old Norse. That is like their heaven, which means Hall of the Slain. It is composed of two parts, slain and dead. Therefore, Valhalla translates to Hall of the Slain or Hall of the Fallen. So why do they all want to go to this hall if it means you're fallen or you're, like, they call it the halls of the dead, but I thought it was like their heaven. But I guess if you're a warrior, it would be heaven. See, again, you've got this double entendre stuff happening that they don't let the public in on. And they are a Nephilim tribe. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'm after the truth. They should be recognized for what they are, great men of old renown. But I'm good on them. Like, I don't need any trying to eat me or nothing. I'm not food. Neither are you. So there. What does the word Valhalla mean? Valhalla means compound. Yes. Okay. So can we look at just Walhalla? Was it a word without the V? No. So they're saying Walhalla. Look for just Walhalla. Let's see if it means anything. See, they're saying it still comes from the Norse. So Walhalla Overlook, that's Valhalla. That is the Hall of the Slain, where the Norse warriors go when they die. So do you see how everything's named after something that we're supposed to think is fake? So either the whole place is fake or they lied and it's all true. But which is it? Okay, Bright Angel, Wade Frost. That's pretty normal, isn't it? Point Imperial, Saddle Mountain Overlook. Let's go back out again. Okay. There's the Kaibab Plateau, Willow Springs. Where were we? We were checking out there. All right. Supai, Tuweep, Ryan, Jacob Lake, like Booze Crossing, Fredonia. There's the Kaibab. Oh, I don't know. Marble Canyons. All right, I'm gonna have to go back in Waheep. Big water. What is that? Waheep. Let's check it out. All these places in this zip code are strange. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. Waheep. Let me look this up real quick. WAHHWEAP. Paiti language meaning bitter water. Ooh, bitter water. Now, can I look up just Wah? on its own, W-A-H etymology. Origin, wa, is often used. Admiration, encouragement, delight, surprise. Surprising cry, wa. Okay. Sorry, back over to our Grand Canyon. And let's take another look, pulled back away from it, and we'll see where else we want to go and take a look at some of these things a little deeper. Supai, did we look at that one? People, Supai, what kind of people are they? Fraser, Wells, wow, that's beautiful. So let's check out this area next. S-U-P-A-I. S-U-P-A-I. How pretty, guys. I'm going to go to Arizona so badly I can taste it. Like, badly. Inca culture, Supay, Supai, Supaya. Shadow. It means shadow and refers to a spirit that can be both benevolent and harmful. Supai refers to layers of rock in the Grand Canyon. It makes me, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Incan mythology. Don't we have a Death Valley in America? Yea, though I walk through the valley of death. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how many places in America are biblical, even though they tell you we don't believe? Supai is a family name. Incan mythology. All right, let's go to the etymology tool. See if I can pull Supai up. Now, we already know that PAI means people, so if we have to, it says no, nothing found. So we're going to look at Su as a root word before sus and sub. Yes, no. Wow. Let's do this. Su, just to show you guys where I'm at. And we know pi means people from looking earlier, right? Because there's a lot of things with PAI at the end, even the Hopi, Hopi, right? They're just missing the A in there. So the etymology of Sioux is quite diverse, right? I get it. Turkish, it means water, good or well in Sanskrit. So well shadow or good shadow could be what Supai. But let's look a little more and then we'll look at the landmark again. Japanese, uncertain origin, related to the sour taste of vinegar. Interesting. Sanskrit, good or well. English, Sioux. Blah, blah, blah. Borrowing from the French. Irish, Sioux meaning sap or juice. Pro-Celtic means sugos, which in turn... Hey, but what does it mean? What is the Latin meaning of Sioux? Above or upwards? Above shadow. Shadow above. Good shadow. See, because there's the good again. Italian. On. So again, what we're trying to do is find out what these names actually mean, because a lot of times in the Bible, names mean something. And if you look up somebody's name, it points to like a place or an event that you can track through history. You can prove it historically. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out who named our Grand Canyon, how it got to be the way it is, and why it's still, again, all of these things around us, and they seem so mysterious. Very few people that visit there will tell you what it is, how it was named, what it looks like. Like they have very, generic explanations as far as I'm concerned. The same thing with flying. You ask somebody how their flight was, what they saw from up there, how amazing it was. Nobody has anything to say. Well, that's no big deal, really. Well, for those of us who have never, it's pretty big deal. And you should know these things. You should know if you fly often what the shape of the planet is, where we are in relation to Europe, if there is one last landmass still and we just have pockets of water here and there since the flood. Like these are things that we should know. Su in Greek, second person. What does su mean in Hebrew? Second person. So second shadow or good shadow, supai. Oh, wait, wait. I might be looking up the wrong thing. Supai means people, we thought. But that's when we looked up the whole thing. So let's do it again. And then PAI. Supai refers to a shadow or a spirit, the whole word together. Su means good, though. What does pai mean? People, I thought. Father, pater, pai. Good father? Pai can be a surname stemming from Sanskrit meaning Lord, or the Hebrew meaning to cry out. Supai, a good cry? This one is wild. This one can mean almost anything. So let's check it out. What does supai look like? Supai construction material helipad. Little Navajo Falls. Shoots Havasu. Does that mean ladders of heaven? Ladder? No, because Havasu water. Shoots. Didn't I just say Eden would have waterfalls? Havasupai, supai. Hava, supai. So hava meaning breath or the feminine breath of Eve or Eve, right? People of Eve, Havasupai. And I always thought that you have to go the narrow way, the narrow way, the narrow way, the narrow gate. I'm on to something, guys, and I just don't know quite what it is yet, but I'll let you know when I get there, because I'm getting somewhere with this. I just don't know what I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I dread taking you along to research with me because anything could go wrong. But sometimes I miss when you're not here and I can't say, see, look what I found. I was right. You know, I don't want you to think I'm just making stuff up. All right. So we have Little Navajo Falls. So if they're the Navajo Indians or Native Americans, where did they first get their name? Where do you get Navajo, right? Like, what did you first speak? So this is all really fascinating for me. I'm sorry. Now, this is all falls. You have falls here, falls there, falls there. Where are they falling from? Where's the origin of all these falls? I must see. Beaver Falls, what do you look like? Swimming basin. Okay. Havasu Creek in the Colorado River. I knew it. Havasu Creek in the Colorado River. See, and again, though, it looks like something at Kennywood, like the Raging Rapids. Why does it not? Maybe it's the lack of depth? I don't know. Like, the deception is getting to me, guys. All right, let's pull out of here and see where. There we go. Now, I kind of wanted to look at this too. Parashant, that word. And that'll be the last one that we do today. And then I'm going to do a little more studying just to see, like, I think we looked mostly on the North Basin, but I could be wrong. But I just want to pick out a few more places to actually show you so it doesn't take us long next time. And let's see, Parashant. That also sounds like breathy. Parashant. Derives from the Southern Paiute. Oh, hold please. Parashant. Okay, so I will share this with you guys. And then do one more search on the etymology tool. Parashant. Parashant. No phrases found. How about para? What is that? Para, before vowels, para, forming element of Greek origin, alongside or beyond, beside, altered, contrary, irregular, or abnormal. Huh. Originally, okay, so let's go back. Parashant etymology, meaning tanned elk hide or softening of the elk hide. Alternatively, it's understood to mean elk or large deer. Okay, let's keep going. What is the meaning? No. Parashant. No, that's Sanskrit is close, prashant, but there's another A. Calm, peaceful, or quiet. quiet in Sanskrit, but you get rid of the one A. Parashant. Okay. No, that's not what I was looking for. Okay. This one might be harder, but we're going to look at para first. Parash. Parash. Para. Again, you got to break things down. So let's see. Parash. Yeah, I knew it was Hebrew. I knew it. Parash. Aunt. To make a distinction, to make a separation. That's like what we just looked at before. Contrary to, make separate. From verb parash refers to a specific section or portion of a longer text, particularly within the Torah. Parash. To make a separation or a distinction, to spread out something, to be clearly visible. Parashant National Monument. Is it clearly visible? I need to see pictures. Come on, man. Where's all the pictures? Show me what this place looks like. This is it. It's a national monument. What are you showing me? You're not showing me anything. What is this? They're showing me the sign, guys. Like, what is the actual monument? What are we supposed to be looking at? These guys are looking at the stars. What? I'm sorry. Like, maybe I'm definitely not well traveled, but this doesn't seem right to me. Like, why are you just showing? What is going on? Show me pictures. Like, I want to see what this place looks like. No, do you have a website? Like your own little site? It doesn't look like, do you have your own site? How strange. No, I guess it doesn't. Grand Canyon, Parashant National Monument. All right, I got to know more. Let's go back to Parash. Parash. Aunt, okay? To make a separation. All right, so now let's look up aunt. To make a separation. Germanic, Old English, meaning ant. Yes, I know. Root word. Biting off. Oh. No, that's not really quite right. We know it's an ant, but parish ant. Like if you use it as a suffix, cut off, to separate, parishant, right? So ant, what did I just say? Parishant. Now I forget what I said to get to this point. Parishant. So clearly seen a separation of suffix. Okay, suffix. Ant as a suffix. It forms nouns. So what does it mean? Ant commonly indicates agents, characteristics, states, or conditions. So parish aunt forms a noun from servant, scientist, ignorant. Oh, I see. So parish aunt would be a state of separation. This is a separated or cut off parashant, a separated, for some reason, separated. And I'm not saying I know, I'm just looking up the word meanings. Ew, it looks kind of desolate, doesn't it? It's pretty right there, though. Oh, and from a plane, but ironically enough, all you get is a bit of sky. That's darling. So parashant can mean to be cut off or separated. That's fascinating. And that's Hebrew. Again, guys. So if I think that the devil would want to take God's holy city and corrupt it, where would I put it? What would I do with God's holy city if it was my season? I would name it Sin City. And look how close Vegas is. All of this whole state, the whole state of Arizona needs investigating. But we will get back to the Grand Canyon etymological in the next stream. We're going to look at things like landmarks that are, have biblical names, or, oh my gosh, is that Enoch? It is Enoch. Hold. Enoch, Utah, 84721. That's in Utah. Of course it is, but I want to live here. I want to live in Enoch. How dope. Let's do a city view real quick just to peek. Oh, I don't want to look at somebody's house. That's rude. I think that's rude. I don't like to do that. Oh, that's pretty. Beautiful. I mean, they shared the pictures, but still. Wow, I didn't know there was a place called Enoch. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. So what we're going to do next time is I'll have a few more things planned. We looked at Supai. I think we looked at a lot of the North Rim. I'll make sure, and then we'll look. Look, you even have Bishop's Place. You even got a place just for bishops. I'm not saying that truly. I'm just saying. Yam pie. All right, we're gonna look at some more of this probably in the next stream because I'm like really fascinated at this point. But I just want to finish up the Grand Canyon because I want to get to mountain ranges too in the U.S. And we're gonna compare this to the missing 411 people and where they go missing because we got a problem with the middle of our country. You see, we got UFO encounters, we got Bigfoot encounters, we got missing people. But in the middle of the country, it's crickets and there's like nothing happening. At least for me, if I look at in that area from Ohio, there's very little news and very little happenings in the middle of our country. That's where I'd say there's deception happening too, but that's just me. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for being here. Sorry for all the stop and goes, but sometimes that's what you have to deal with when you're talking about things they don't want you talking about. God bless you guys. We'll talk soon. Thanks for the heart. Bye.